Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in. Feel the air move through your body. Let your breath slow. Let your awareness settle. Now, imagine yourself standing outside, somewhere quiet, somewhere still. The earth beneath you, the sky above, the moon hanging in the darkness. Everything is moving, everything is shifting. Even now, without effort, without force, the earth is turning, the tides are pulling, the seasons are changing. Everything is in a rhythm, and you are not separate from it. You were never meant to move against the natural flow. But in the modern world, we've been conditioned to believe that emotions should be controlled, managed, fixed, that healing should be linear, that transformation should be forced on a timeline. But this isn't how nature works, and it's not how you work either, because your emotions are not random. They follow cycles, they have rhythms. Just like the moon, they wax and wane. Just like the tides, they rise and fall. Just like the seasons, they move through phases of growth, release, rest, and renewal. And when you learn to move with these cycles instead of resisting them, everything changes. Suddenly, emotions don't feel overwhelming. They don't feel stuck. They don't feel like something you have to fix. Instead, they become something you can work with, flow with, move through with ease. Because emotions, like nature, are not meant to be controlled. They are meant to be experienced. And this journey, this is about remembering how to experience them fully, without fear, without force, without resistance. This is emotional alchemy in its most natural form. Not a method, not a formula, but a return to rhythm. This is not a rigid process. It is a living journey, one that you can return to again and again. Each section of this experience will align with a different cycle of energy, helping you learn how to process emotions in harmony with the natural world. You will learn how to work with the dark stillness of the new moon, to listen deeply and plant new emotional intentions, how to use the full moon's illumination to release emotional weight and move stagnant energy without being thrown off balance. Each time you listen, you may find yourself in a different place emotionally. Some cycles will feel powerful, others will feel quiet. Some emotions will rise to the surface effortlessly, others will take time to unravel. And all of that is perfect. There is no rush, there is no pressure. There is only you and the rhythm of life itself. And when you surrender to that rhythm, healing happens naturally. So, as you move through this journey, let yourself listen, not just to my words, but to your body, your emotions, and the earth itself. Everything you need to know is already within you. This journey is simply here to help you remember. Before we begin, let's take a moment to feel this rhythm within you. Take a deep breath in. Hold it for a moment. Now exhale, slow and steady. As you breathe, imagine that your body is moving in rhythm with the earth. Your inhale is like the rising tide. Your exhale is like the waning moon. Your emotions too are moving, rising, falling, shifting, flowing. Nothing is stagnant. Nothing is stuck. Everything is in motion. Feel that. Let it settle. Let it land. And when you're ready, let's begin. Close your eyes. Breathe in. Let everything slow down. Imagine yourself standing in the quiet of night. No bright city lights, no distractions, just the vast, endless sky. The moon is nowhere to be seen. The world is dark, silent, and still. This is the new moon, a time of emptiness and possibility, a time when the energy of life itself slows down, turns inward, and prepares to begin again. And you are being invited to do the same. Because before anything new can be created, before any healing can begin, there must be space. Space to listen, space to be with what is, space to sit in the void without rushing to fill it. But most of us aren't comfortable with this space. We have been conditioned to believe that darkness means something is wrong, that if we feel empty, lost, uncertain, it means we are broken, stuck, or failing. But this is not true. In every ancient tradition, the darkness is not something to fear. It is something to honor. Because darkness is where life begins. The seed that will one day grow into a tree, it starts in the dark. The baby in the womb, forming its first heartbeat, it grows in the dark. The most profound transformations of your life, they are always born in the places where you once felt lost. And your emotions, they too need space to be felt in the depth of the void, without judgment, without rushing, without resistance. This is what the new moon offers you. A moment to pause, a moment to drop into yourself, a moment to listen to what is ready to be felt, released, and transformed. Because if you don't take the time to truly feel where you are, how can you ever move forward with clarity? The new moon is not about forcing change. It is about deep presence. Let's go there now. Take a slow, deep breath in. Feel yourself sinking into the quiet. Now, imagine yourself standing under the dark sky. The moon is hidden, but you can feel its presence. The air is still, the night is deep. There is nothing to do, nothing to fix, nothing to force, only space. Now, turn inward. Bring your awareness into your body. Where is your emotional energy right now? Not the thoughts running through your mind, not the stories you've told yourself, but the felt sense of emotion in your body. Where does it live? Is there a heaviness in your chest, a tightness in your throat, an unspoken grief in your stomach? Or maybe just emptiness? Whatever is there, don't analyze it. Just be with it. Let it exist. Let it breathe. Let it be felt in the silence. There is nothing to fix, nothing to escape, only you and your emotions in the vast space of the void. This is the moment where alchemy begins, because emotions don't need to be solved. They just need to be seen, honored, and given space to shift on their own. Stay here for a moment. Breathe into it. Let yourself soften. Let go of the need to know what comes next. Let go of the need to rush forward. Just be here. When you're ready, take one more deep breath in. And without forcing anything, feel what is ready to move. Maybe it's a subtle shift. Maybe it's a deep exhale. Maybe it's the simple awareness that your emotions exist in a greater rhythm, one that does not require force, only presence. When you are ready, open your eyes. You have just stepped into the wisdom of the new moon. Some things to remember. The void is not a problem to be solved. It is a space to listen. Your emotions do not need to be fixed. They need to be honored. Slowing down is not stagnation. It is alignment with the natural cycles of change. As you move through the next few days, notice, where can you create more space for emotional stillness in your life? How do your emotions feel when you stop analyzing them and just let them exist? What happens when you give yourself permission to not have all the answers right now? The new moon is here to remind you, transformation begins in the space between, and your emotions know how to shift when given the room to breathe. Let that settle, let it land, and when you're ready, we will move on to the next phase. For now, just be in the void. Close your eyes, breathe in. Feel the shift. The sky is no longer completely dark. The moon has returned, just a sliver, but enough to see, enough to feel the beginning of movement. This is the waxing moon, the phase of building energy, rising momentum, and forward motion, the place where emotions begin to wake up, asking to be felt, expressed, and acknowledged. If the new moon was the void, the silent space where emotions rested in the darkness, the waxing moon is the first inhale, a stirring, a signal that it's time to move. But movement doesn't mean rushing, it doesn't mean forcing. It means allowing the natural rise of energy without resistance, without suppression, without over-identification. And this is where most people struggle, because we tend to do one of two things with emotions when they arise. We push them back down, we feel the stir of sadness, anger, or uncertainty, and we suppress it. We distract ourselves, override it, ignore it. Or we get pulled into the emotion completely. We feel something strong and we spiral into it, believing that the emotion is our truth, our identity, our reality. But neither of these allow the energy to move naturally. Emotions are not meant to be controlled or clung to. They are meant to flow. The waxing moon teaches us how to allow emotions to rise without fear, how to witness them without suppressing or overanalyzing, how to work with emotions as they gain momentum, without letting them define us. And this is what we are going to practice now. Let's move into the experience. Take a slow, deep breath in. Feel the energy inside you, subtle or strong, quiet or loud. There is movement. There is something stirring. Now, imagine the waxing moon, its soft glow growing brighter each night. Not rushing, not forcing, just naturally expanding. Your emotions do the same. Now, bring your awareness inward. What emotion has been just beneath the surface for you lately? Maybe it's frustration, maybe it's longing, maybe it's excitement mixed with fear. Don't force an answer. Just notice what wants to rise. Now, instead of analyzing it, let's try something different. I want you to physically move your body in response to the emotion. If you feel tension, roll your shoulders. If you feel tightness, stretch or shake out your hands. If you feel stuck, inhale deeply and sigh it out. Let your breath guide the motion. Let your body respond to the energy. No judgment, no control, just movement. As you do this, imagine the emotion as a wave of energy inside you, gently rising. Not something to fear, not something to suppress, not something to drown in. Just energy expanding, naturally, easily, and freely. This is the rhythm of the waxing moon. It teaches us that momentum does not have to be overwhelming, that we can let emotions rise without gripping them, that we can move with energy instead of against it. Take one more deep breath, and when you are ready, come back to stillness. Notice what has shifted. Maybe it's subtle, maybe it's profound. Either way, it's enough. You have just practiced the art of emotional flow. and this is the foundation of emotional alchemy. Here's what I want you to take with you from this experience. Emotions are not meant to stay hidden. They are meant to rise. You do not have to fear momentum. Your emotions know how to move. Movement, breath, and awareness create space for emotions to flow naturally. Over the next few days, pay attention to what emotions naturally want to rise for you. How do they feel in your body when you stop suppressing them? What happens when you respond to emotions through movement rather than thought? This is how you begin to work with emotional energy rather than against it, because emotions, like the moon, are not meant to be controlled. They are meant to grow, expand, and shift in their own time. Let that land. Let it settle. And when you are ready, we will move on and into the next phase. For now, just allow. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and exhale slowly. The night is no longer dark. The moon is at its peak, full, bright, and undeniably present. There is no hiding now. Everything is illuminated. The full moon is the peak of the lunar cycle, the moment when all energies reach their height. This is when emotions that have been buried rise to the surface, when tensions that have been building become undeniable, when clarity becomes possible, but only if we are willing to see what is truly there. And this is where emotional release begins, because what we do not acknowledge, we cannot let go of. This is why emotions often feel intense around the full moon. It is not because something is wrong. It is because something is being revealed. The full moon teaches us that healing begins with honesty, that true emotional liberation comes from fully feeling, fully seeing, and fully releasing. And right now, you are being asked to do the same, to witness what is rising, to honor what needs to be released, to trust that letting go is not loss, it is freedom. Let's move into this together. Take a breath. Feel yourself settle into this moment. Now, imagine yourself standing under the full moon. Its light is everywhere, soft, radiant, exposing all that was once hidden. This is your moment of clarity. Now, I want you to bring your awareness inward. What emotion has been weighing on you? Maybe it's something you've been carrying for a long time. Maybe it's something that just surfaced recently. Whatever it is, don't resist it. Allow it to be seen. Allow it to exist fully. Allow yourself to feel it without shrinking away. This is not about drowning in the emotion. It is about acknowledging it so you can set it free. Now, take a deep breath in. As you inhale, gather the weight of this emotion. Feel it in your chest, your stomach, your throat, wherever it lives. Hold it for a moment. And now, exhale. Let it go. Not just in your mind, in your body. If it feels natural, let out a sigh, a sound, a breath that carries the energy with it. If your body wants to move, let it. Shake out your hands, roll your shoulders, stretch, release, breathe. This is how we let go, not by forcing, not by overanalyzing, but by allowing the energy to leave in its own way. Do this a few more times. Inhale, gather what is ready to be released. Exhale, set it free. Feel the lightness returning. Feel the space opening within you. This is the power of the full moon. She does not hold on to what is no longer needed. She allows everything to be seen so that it can be released. And now, you have done the same. Here's what I want you to take with you. Emotional intensity is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something is ready to be released. Clarity comes from honesty, seeing what is present without resistance. Release is not a one-time event. It is a practice, a rhythm, a natural part of life. As you move through the next few days, notice what emotions feel lighter after allowing them to be seen. What patterns or beliefs feel ready to be released? What happens when you trust that letting go creates space for something new? This is how we begin to work with emotions instead of being ruled by them. Because release is not about losing. It is about creating room for what is next. Let this settle. Let it integrate. And when you're ready, we move forward. For now, breathe, let go, and trust the rhythm of life. Close your eyes. Take a slow, steady breath in. And exhale slowly. The moon is no longer full. She is beginning to fade, her light softening, her presence retreating. This is the waning moon, the phase of gentle release, deep integration, and quiet surrender. The moment when the energy of expansion shifts inward, asking us to pause, rest, and allow. But in a world that glorifies action, most of us are not taught how to honor this phase. We release something and immediately ask, what's next? We let go of emotional weight and assume we should feel lighter instantly. But healing, true deep healing, isn't just about letting go. It's about allowing the body, the mind, and the soul to recalibrate after release. And this is what the waning moon teaches us. That the most profound shifts happen in the quiet spaces after the letting go. That we do not need to force the next step, it will arise naturally. That surrender is not stagnation, it is trust in the process of integration. Right now you are being invited into this stillness, to allow the shifts within you to settle, without rushing to fill the space, to trust that something new is forming beneath the surface, even if you can't see it yet. Let's move into the experience now. Take a slow, deep breath in. Feel your body begin to soften. Now imagine yourself under the night sky. The moon is waning, her light receding, her energy slowing. Everything is quiet, steady, and at peace. Now, turn your awareness inward. Feel into your body. You have released something. You have let something go. Now, what remains? Not as a thought, but as a sensation. Maybe there is spaciousness where there was once heaviness. Maybe there is a quiet exhaustion, the need for deep rest. Maybe there is a strange stillness, the space between what was and what is becoming. Whatever is present, do not rush to change it. Just be with it. Let it settle. Let it integrate. Now, imagine yourself lying on the earth, supported by her presence. The soil beneath you is soft, holding you effortlessly. There is nothing to do, no effort to be made, only a quiet space where everything you have released can integrate in its own time. Let your breath slow. Let the wisdom of your emotions settle into your body. You do not need to understand the transformation. You do not need to force the next step. You only need to trust that the shift has already happened. Breathe into this. Let it land. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes. You have just stepped into the wisdom of the waning moon. Here's what I want you to take with you from this experience. Healing happens in the spaces between. Allow yourself to rest in them. Trust that what you have released is truly gone. There is no need to reach back for it. Your next step will arise naturally. There is no rush to figure it out. As you move through the next few days, notice, how does your body feel after release? What does it need? Can you allow yourself to pause instead of immediately seeking the next thing? What happens when you trust that healing is unfolding, even in the stillness? This is the wisdom of the waning moon, a reminder that rest is not inactivity. It is part of the cycle of transformation. Let this settle, let it integrate, and when you are ready, we move forward. For now, just allow yourself to be. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and exhale slowly. The moon has faded completely once again. The sky is dark, silent, open. This is the return of the new moon, but this time you are not entering it from a place of unawareness. You have moved through the full cycle. You have felt the stillness. You have allowed energy to rise. You have experienced the peak of emotion and the power of release. You have surrendered to integration, and now you are here, at the threshold of a new beginning. But this moment is not about rushing forward. It is not about forcing the next step. It is about allowing the pause before the next cycle begins. Because before anything new can emerge, before fresh emotions can rise, before the next layer of healing can unfold, there must be space. This is the wisdom that most people overlook. The modern world glorifies constant motion, always doing, always improving, always trying to figure out what's next. But nature does not move this way. A seed does not rush to sprout the moment it is planted. A tree does not force itself to bloom in the dead of winter. There is a pause before rebirth, a sacred emptiness where nothing is meant to be done, only honored. And that is where you are right now. This is the true completion of the cycle, not rushing forward, not seeking the next emotion to process, not trying to understand what's ahead, but simply being here. Let's move into this experience together. Take a slow, deep breath in. Hold it for a moment. Now exhale, allowing yourself to settle into the stillness. There is nothing to do, no energy to move, no emotion to release, no intention to set, only this moment. Imagine yourself in the quiet darkness of the new moon. The sky is vast, endless, and open. There is no urgency, no pressure, only possibility. Now, bring your awareness into your body. What does it feel like to be here? Not thinking about what comes next, not looking for the next step, but simply existing in the pause before the next cycle begins. If there is a sense of peace, allow it. If there is discomfort in the stillness, allow that too. Everything is welcome here. This space, the void between endings and beginnings, is where the deepest transformation happens. Not through action, not through effort, but through allowing. Let yourself rest in this emptiness, not as a problem to be solved, but as a gift to be received. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel yourself sinking fully into the sacred pause. There is nowhere to be but here, and when the time is right, The next cycle will begin, naturally, effortlessly, exactly as it is meant to. But for now, just be. Here's what I want you to take with you. Completion is not about rushing into the next thing. It is about honoring the space between. Every cycle requires a moment of emptiness before the next one begins. You do not have to know what comes next. Trust that the next phase will unfold naturally. As you move through the coming days, notice, how does it feel to allow yourself to simply exist without seeking the next step? Can you trust the emptiness as a part of your transformation rather than something to avoid? What happens when you give yourself full permission to pause, rest, and allow? This is the final lesson of the lunar cycle, a reminder that you are never stuck, you are never lost, you are always moving, even in the stillness. The next cycle will come, the next wave of emotions will rise, the next transformation will unfold. But for now, just rest in the wisdom of the pause. This is how true emotional alchemy happens. This is how we remember our natural rhythm. Let that settle. Let it integrate. And when you are ready, you will step into the next cycle with clarity, ease, and trust. For now, just be.